The 38th annual Royal Rumble event takes place this Saturday in Indianapolis, Indiana, from Lucas Oil Stadium. This will be one of three major premium live events that WWE brings to Indianapolis, as the city signed a deal with WWE to bring a Royal Rumble, a WrestleMania, and a SummerSlam all to the city. So expect to see a lot more of Indianapolis in the next few years, and I'm sure that will make Pat McAfee very happy. So the show we have this year is 4 matches currently scheduled as of Wednesday night, and it looks like that will be the format, as last year's Rumble was a 4-match show, and usually Paul Levesque premium live events are usually 4 to 5 match shows anyway, and especially this show because all 4 matches are going to take long, in my opinion. So when we look at the Rumble, this is, I think, the second biggest show of the year. It's kind of interesting that the Rumble is not going to be 2 nights before SummerSlam is, and I just think the Rumble makes more sense. I mean, this show right here, you can add a few more matches and spread this out 2 nights, because the 4 matches right here are all going to go long. So I expect to see it 2 nights soon. I hope it starts in 2027, not next year, because next year is in Saudi Arabia. That's unfortunate, but they pay WWE a whole bunch of money. Also, before I get to the predictions, I want to make a note of the newest WWE Hall of Fame inductee, officially announced today, is none other than Mr. Paul Triple H Levesque, inducted for the first time as a single star. He was inducted part of DX in 2019, but now he gets his full headlining nomination for the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Mr. Levesque, the Game Triple H. Now, here's the card. First, we have the 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Champions. You have DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa defending their titles against the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, and Chris Sabin. So this is not necessarily a match that I think will go either one of 2 ways. I think DIY is going to win, and that's a prediction right away to get out of the way. Obviously, they're going to split the falls. Probably the Machine Guns win the first fall, or maybe DIY wins the first fall in the heel way. Then the Machine Guns win the second fall. Then DIY wins more in a clean fashion in the third fall. So this also should be the end of the rivalry if it's going to be 2 out of 3 falls. I'm hoping for a great match. I think they'll get time. I can't imagine they don't get a lot of time in a 2 out of 3 falls match, because they would have just made a regular tag match if they only wanted to go like 15 minutes. So it's going to be a while. I think these guys should be able to tear the house down. I think they're going to get the opportunity to. I think it'll go long, perhaps over 20 minutes, 20, 22 minutes. I think that's where the match should be. And I am picking DIY to retain, as I mentioned earlier. Next, the ladder match for the Undisputed WWE Championship, which is the current Undisputed WWE Championship. I guess they dropped the Universal part. Who the champion, of course, is Cody Rhodes, and he's defending it against a man who's holding the classic Winged Eagle WWF Championship. That's none other than Mr. Kevin Owens. Here's the match. I find it funny, just as a note, that Kevin Owens always challenges for a world title at the Royal Rumble and always loses. In 2018, him and Sami Zayn had a handicap match against AJ Styles for the WWE title. They both lost. 2021, he challenged for the Universal Championship against Roman Reigns in a last man standing match. He lost. 2 years ago, 2023, in a very memorable angle, not much of a match, but he basically got his ass kicked by Roman Reigns for the Universal title in San Antonio. So once again, he's challenging for a title, and once again, he's going to lose. Cody Rhodes is winning this match. As for what I expect, I think it'll be a great match. I don't think it'll be the best ladder match in the history of Royal Rumble, because that would make it better than the Intercontinental title ladder match from 2001. That's very hard to top. But I think it's just going to be an awesome match. I think there'll be more physical, not too much high spots. I think you'll see Kevin really put his body in the line. He might go through a ladder. You'll see more slams on ladder. I think they'll have a ladder match where it's more of trying to get the title belt more than just big spots. I think they're going to tell a story and I think Cody is going to win this match. Now, here's what we've been waiting for, the Royal Rumble matches. This is why we really like the Rumble. Even though the undercard's much better this year than previous years, this is what we're into. First, the Women's Royal Rumble. 30 women compete for a championship title match at WrestleMania 41. So here's what we have so far. We have Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, and Io Sky, who I want to win. I'm not sure she will. So, of these, I think you can make different predictions. I think the betting market's the favorite is still Charlotte Flair by a big margin. I think close to her is Bianca Belair. I think Becky Lynch is up there. You also have Jordynne Grace, who is going to be in this match, most likely. And she won't be representing TNA. She'll be representing the WWE because she signed with them. So that's one surprise I'm predicting right now, Jordynne Grace. Becky Lynch, I mentioned her. I think she's coming back in this match. I don't think she will win, but I think she's going to make a return. Other returns, we know Charlotte Flair's back. That's not even really a surprise. It's just a return, not a surprise. Asuka, I think, is a possibility, but I don't know the status of her knee injury. I think the one I'm most curious about and one I'm interested to seeing most come back because we haven't seen her in 2 years, and that is Little Miss Bliss, the goddess, Alexa Bliss. Man, I want to see her back as a goddess. I don't want to see her part of the Wyatt Six. I want to see the goddess, Alexa Bliss. I'd love to see her back, but she has contract disputes with the WWE. I follow her on Instagram. I see her always posting with her daughter, who's a year old, and she posted a photo of her as her daughter. It's basically, I'll be with her. It doesn't seem like she's coming back. There's been no indications. PW Insider broke the news a couple weeks ago, so I don't expect to see Alexa Bliss. I'd like to see her back. You can go back and watch all my old videos from 2017 to 2020. Always really liked Alexa Bliss, but I get it. It's a contract dispute. She's a mother. I don't know if she wants to come back, so I don't expect to see her. But if she does, it'll be a cool moment. Becky, I mentioned her already. Yeah. Other surprises. So from TNA, I think you're going to get Rosemary. Jordynne Grace doesn't count. She's gone. You're not going to get Tessa Blanchard. You have a better chance of Alexa Bliss than Tessa Blanchard. There's a 0% chance you're getting Tessa Blanchard. You have a better chance of seeing almost anything else but her. She's not going to be in this match. But Rosemary, I think, is a surprise. I'm not sure how many people are going to know who she is, though. I think that's a problem from TNA. From NXT, Roxanne Perez will be in this match again. I think that's very likely. You could have Cora Jade in this match. You could have a thing where they reignite their tensions on NXT, but I think that's less likely. Julia will not be in this match. It makes no sense. Stephanie Becker, I don't think so. I don't think it makes sense for her because she's going to be in NXT for a lot longer. It just doesn't make sense to put her on right now and have her on the main roster. So she won't be there. Who else could be there? Jada Parker, I think, is a possibility. I think she'd be a good choice. Give her a good showing. I think that might actually happen. Jada Parker. Kalani Jordan, not so sure. Sol Ruka, maybe, probably not. Who else would be there? As for, that's all I can think of NXT right now. Fallon Henley, I don't think so. So, you move on to the Legends. I don't think we should see too many Legends. Early Royal Rumble matches from like 2018 to 2020, around that period, they always relied on bringing back retired female wrestlers because they didn't have enough bodies in the match, basically. Here, I don't think you're going to get many Legends. You could get a couple. I'd like to see someone we haven't seen in a while. I'm not sure who that is, but I prefer that than just seeing Trish and Lita. And I don't think neither of them need to be in this match. Mickie James is a possibility. Gail Kim, I know they're with TNA. They have that partnership. I don't think that's going to happen. But you could see some interesting returns. As for who's going to win, well, actually, first I should give you my Final Four. I think Charlotte and Becky are guaranteed to be in the Final Four, as is Bianca Belair. And I think Bayley. Actually, no. I'm going to go Io Sky instead of Bayley as the Final Four. Who wins? Oh, so I want to go into my 5-1 most likely who wins. My number 5 is going to be Jordan Grace as a shock. I don't think that's going to happen at all, but I think that would be the shock win. Like, wow, that'd be a surprise. 4, I would put Becky Lynch. It's always a possibility because she makes a lot. They could have her go after Rhea, but I don't want to see that. That's why I have her at 4. I don't think people want to see her go after Rhea again. I think she's most likely working with Lyra, but her star power alone, have her at 4. 3. Now, here's one of the 3 women I think have the best chance to win. 3, I'm going to have to put Io Sky. I want her to win. I'm rooting for Io. She's my pick. She would be my pick to win. I really want to see her win this match. Don't think it's going to happen. 2, I'd have I'd have Bianca Belair. The reason I mention Naomi is I think Naomi might eliminate her or lead to her elimination, do something that would get her eliminated because they've lost many matches. I think Naomi is the one who attacked Jade. But it could be a situation where Bianca wins the Rumble, then she beats Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, then she challenges Naomi at the Backlash show, because that's going to be when it's revealed that Naomi attacked Jade, because I think that's what happened. I think they'll have a feud, but as Bianca winning, I think it's a very strong possibility. I think she could win this match. I'm not against her winning at all. Especially if she's facing Rhea, because Rhea doesn't have a clear-cut opponent right now. Who's it going to be besides Bianca? Could be Io. That's a possibility. It won't be Charlotte. I think Charlotte Tiffany's a lock. The thing with Charlotte is she doesn't have to win. She can just win at the Chamber and get the spot. So she's a possibility as well. I still have Bianca too. I went back and forth with Bianca and Charlotte, but I think Bianca is the second most likely. And my pick to win, some people aren't going to like this. I'm sure the internet's going to be very upset with my pick if this does happen, and that's Charlotte Flair. She's my pick to win the Rumble. She will be the first woman to win 2 Royal Rumbles. She won it in 2020, and no woman has ever won 2 Royal Rumbles before. We're at the 8th Rumble now. They can do it now. The first was Asuka in 2018, 2019 Becky, 2020 Charlotte Flair, 2021 Bianca Belair, 2022 Ronda Rousey, 2023 Rhea Ripley, and last year in 2024 in Tampa was Bayley. So all new, like, you've never had someone win the second Rumble. I think it's going to happen this year, and I think it's Charlotte. I think she wins the Rumble. She's my pick. Now, the real main event. Who is going to win the Men's Royal Rumble and potentially headline WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes or Gunter? Gunter, you're not going to main event, but you will get a big spot on the card. Probably opening up night 1 or night 2. That's probably your spot, but it's still a big spot because it's WrestleMania. So here's the declared entrance. You have LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Braun Breaker, and Carmelo Hayes. So, who's winning this match? Like the women, I have 5 entrants who I think are most likely, and I'll get to that later. But first, I wanted to talk about who we might see, who we might not see, surprises, NXT returns. I think more it's likely to see more returns in the women's than the men's, because I think a lot of the big names have already been announced for the men's. The big giant surprise, which is The Rock, I don't think is going to happen. That would be the massive shock of the night, shock of the year, if he wins. Because if he's getting in there, he's winning the Rumble. You bet your ass he's winning. And he's facing Cody, but I think that's very unlikely. I'm not sure any big returns that are really expected this year, because so many of the guys have just been announced and are being already featured in the main roster. Who could we expect that we haven't seen in a while? No one really comes to mind right now. I think actually AJ Styles, he's been out for a while. I think he could return. It's not guaranteed. He's still injured. I mean, he came back after an injury and came back on SmackDown and got hurt right away. So So it's a possibility, but it's not a guarantee because he might not be cleared. Omos, yeah, I think he'll be there. He'll come back from Noah. It's kind of a return. I mean, he wasn't gone for that long. He hasn't been used. But it's a semi-return. I think you'll see him. Someone else who I don't think will be in there is Big E. I don't see it happening. Some people really want to see him wrestle. I saw his article he wrote after the New Day split called Sour. It seemed like that guy's done with wrestling, and I think he should be. I don't think he really wants it that much anymore. I think there was some truth in the Xavier and Kofi's promo on him last month. I don't think you're going to see Big E back here. Another one who I don't expect is Goldberg, because I think he's someone who probably might have to come down to the last few because he's pushed so hard. I don't see it being Goldberg. I don't see it being him. I think he could attack Gunther. I think that's a possibility. Maybe they have a match at Elimination Chamber. It's not going to happen at the Rumble, and it needs it because Chamber's in Toronto, and he was well received last time in Toronto when he faced Brock, so they can do that, but I don't think you're going to see Goldberg here. Brock Lesnar, no, not happening. He will be back one day, I think so. Not happening now. Until that lawsuit's settled, you're just not going to see Brock Lesnar back in the WWE. I don't expect to see him. So there's more of guys who I don't expect. Now, as for the surprises from TNA, Joe Hendry, I think that's not even an if. I think that's a when, that he's going to be in the Rumble. He will be. It just depends on his number. He's going to be in the Rumble. You're going to have the I believe in Joe Hendry, and all the fans are going to love it. And they're going to love the meme, the Joe Hendry face meme. We all know he's going to be there. Another possibility is Nick Nemeth, who's in TNA as well. I think that could happen. I wouldn't mind it. I would like to see him back as Dolph Ziggler because no one wants to see Nick Nemeth. People know him as Dolph. I wouldn't mind him back there. They did nothing with him at the end, but as a one-night special appearance, why not? Another possibility is Mr. Matt Cardona, who will come back as Matt Cardona. He will not be known as Zack Ryder. You won't hear the woo, woo, woo. You know it. He won't be there, but you could have Matt Cardona. I think that's a possibility as well. I'm not saying it's going to happen or not. I'm going to say most likely neither him or Ziggler's in the match, but I think they're both. There's a chance you see them. Hendry, I think for sure. I think that might be it for TNA. I think you might get Hendry in the men's and Rosemary in the women's. NXT, so Trick I think is a possibility. I think you can see him there. Obafemi is no. He's the champion. He should not be in that match. Not going to see Eddie Thorpe either. Don't see him there. Not a star in my opinion. Who else is really in NXT? Fraxium, no. Wesley, don't think so. Javon Evans signed the jaw injury, no. So now another guy who I think will be in there, I'm predicting he's going to be in there, like Trick Williams, is All Ego Ethan Page. I think he'll make an appearance. Don't think he'll last long. I think Trick's going to get the big showcase, but I think you'll see Ethan Page in there. So that's who I see from NXT. Now I've gone over TNA, NXT, potential returns, people who I don't think will return. I think we can go into the Final Four, then the 5 most likely winners. So, my Final Four, I think Roman Reigns makes it to the Final Four. I think John Cena's there, CM Punk is there, and the final guy I see there is going to be Seth Rollins. Drew, I don't see it getting to the Final Four. It could be Drew or Seth. There's also a chance where I could see an alternate thing where it's Punk, Cena, Drew, and Seth, and perhaps Roman was taken out earlier by Jacob Fatu. That's a possibility. You can see that. But I think the first group I mentioned is most likely. Now, as for who's going to win, 5th, I'm just going to say it, The Rock. That's the crazy thing. It's kind of like the 5th with the woman I picked. With The Rock for the men's, I think that's just a possibility. It's probably less than 1% at this point, but you could have a situation where someone like John Cena finally wins the Rumble. He's going to win the 17th Rumble. Then all of a sudden we see the countdown clock go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. out comes number 31, The Rock. He eliminates John Cena, crushes his dreams of winning the 17th title at WrestleMania, and then challenges Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. That's a possibility. Less than 1%, extremely unlikely. It'd be awesome if it happened, but I don't think The Rock will be winning the Rumble this year. Number 4, most likely, is, I think, someone, and I know you might think 1%. The other guys, I think, are all at 0. But number 4 is the biggest star in the company, who is at least on the active roster, even though he doesn't wrestle full-time, he's only part-time, Roman Reigns. A possibility as well. You could have Roman win. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think it's likely he wins at all. But I think, you could give it 5%. They could have him win. And there's also a possibility where they get to build off Cody, something happens. There's always that. But I think it's unlikely. But I'm going to leave it open because he is still the biggest star on the company, in the company. And this would be 10 years since he won the Rumble. He's only won one Rumble. All other big stars of all seem to have won multiple Rumbles. This would only be his second if he won. Number 3 is the one who I do not want to win the Rumble. He's the guy who I least want to win the Rumble. He's the guy who I think will start off number 1 because they're going to have to do the big yeet entrance for Mr. Jey Uso, and they're going to have him come out. The whole of Indianapolis is going to do the yeet. It's going to go on for 30 minutes. All these matches are going to go long anyway, but you're also going to get a 30-minute long entrance. I mean, Jey Uso's entrance is like the new Undertaker entrance, except it's not even good. But Jey Uso's a possibility because they're teasing so much with him and Gunther that they could have set up the thing where Gunther beats him at Saturday night's main event. Jey finally wins the Rumble, and he challenges Gunther for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania 41, and he wins. That's a possibility. I think it's unlikely. I don't think it's going to happen. But Jey Uso's been pushed at the main event all for the last few months. He sells a lot of merchandise. He's very popular with the fans, even though the yeet thing I think is more popular than him. You can tell by his match reactions. He's moving a needle in terms of merchandise for them. It could happen where they have him win the Rumble. I hope it doesn't happen, but it's a possibility. Number 2, I think the second most likely is John Cena. I wouldn't mind Cena winning. I think him winning is fine because I think he's probably going to go for a world title match regardless at WrestleMania. I think his most likely opponent is going to be Gunther. If he doesn't go for a title, I think he works with Logan Paul. I think it'll be built up really well. That could happen, but maybe not because Logan just announced he's fighting his own brother Jake for Max, and that's like 3 weeks before Mania. I don't know if they want to commit to him having a match with Cena if he's going to do that fight, even though it's only against his brother. But I'm going to put Cena as a second most likely possibility because I think he will probably win the Chamber, but they could change their mind, have him just win the Rumble and go at WrestleMania for the belt because he doesn't necessarily have to win one or the other to get the title. It could be the Rumble or the Chamber. I think they could have a win. I think the betting markets have Cena as a favorite, surprisingly. I wouldn't mind that. I think it would be a good moment. It would be cool for the fans. I think it would be very positive to him. And it would be fine to see him win the Rumble. I kind of like that. I think it's the second most likely scenario. But the first most likely scenario, and my prediction officially to win the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match is CM Punk. I think he's winning the Rumble. I think he's going to WrestleMania, and finally he will main event WrestleMania. He gets to achieve his lifelong dream. The main reason he walked out on WWE in 2014, he didn't get to main event at WrestleMania. He gets to do it this time. It's most likely his opponent is going to be the World Heavyweight Champion. I think that's probably what we're going to see. I think he's most likely to stay on Raw. Now, will it be Gunther? It might not be. I don't know. Could it be Cody? It's possible. Because they'd set up that angle. I think that's more of a swerve. Or I think that's more of a red herring, if you will. Because I think that's most likely not going to happen. They want you to think it's going to happen. They want to tease suspense for Raw the next night after Mania. They could have it linger for a while. They can have them do more segments together. but I'm not sure he's going to choose Cody. I think that's less likely. I think he'll challenge for the champion on Raw. My pick is CM Punk. He wins the Men's Rumble. And that wraps up my predictions. So a lot happens in the Rumble. The road to WrestleMania officially begins. We're going to have a lot of answers cleared up soon. We're going to see where the wind is blowing. We're going to see the writing on the wall, or perhaps the paint on the pavement, on the lanes, as we drive on the road to WrestleMania.